Hello, hey, it's Liam here. I want to apologize about something. I have been gone for an extensive amount of time, and I haven't made a video in a while. So I just want to make sure that I just want to let you know that I'm continuing on making videos. I had just a bad couple, a bad month really. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for continuing to watching, and I saw that I got 40 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. That really means a lot to me, more than you think. It's really encouraging to me. So thank you, and enjoy the video. I have a lot more to come. Hello, welcome to another episode of Alda Mods. And yes, I am flying because in the last episode we found ourselves we became a witch within the cave. So, after gathering enough resources and all that stuff, and I've also learned that this also destroys blocks. Like, I could just run right through here. That just makes a lot of sense. And I accidentally broke a tree. Great. That tree's gonna be floating now. Well, anyways, and I just came from the caves because I wanted to gather some TV, because, for the plan for today was to maybe, I want to try something out here. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. This is my first time working on it, trying it out. We literally just came back from mining. So, I bookmarked a recipe here called the crafting recipe bookmark. And it uses pretty much any of these crystals, any chest. I don't know why I would recommend an ender chest because that just seems like a waste of time. EV. And we need 2 aluminum. Okay, so yeah, that's why we got some Kiwi. Only need to be 4, but I guess I got more than that. I didn't think it would be half aluminum. Swear to God, I mined some aluminum. Not uranium. There we go. Here we are. We need to make 2 of these. Now we just need the chest and crafting table. Which we already have a crafting table. I'm not gonna try to. This sounds really cheap, but I'm not gonna try to utilize more wood than I ever have to. It also gives me more storage, even though it is literally in small amount. Which one do I have the most of? I don't want to use the green one. I think it matters. I'm gonna use the black. I'm gonna use the dark Ethereum. I am not exactly sure how this works. Okay. I signal. Pulse. Always on. Okay. So my goal is to try to make it more efficient. Okay, so this is interesting. That is what I wanted to do. And I believe this is like a storage little area. Always on. So instead of having well, I'm gonna need some blocks to get up there. You know what? I'll just make some ladders instead. Be a little bit fancy. That ain't gonna work so well, ain't it? We're gonna need a small filtration system here. And the filtration is gonna be consisting of putting the seeds separate away from the autocrafter. And I don't think... So, I want it to be always on. Raw noodles. I made raw noodles by accident. So, it does not want to work with hoppers, but maybe if we give it a try... We should try, using, logistics pipes. I think that would be a very cool thing to maybe add. See, it's already making, hay bales, which is something I wanted to do. But... So, let's see if, Okay, so I wanted to get out of there. Again, I'm learning with you all on this. So I'm like completely new to the Xycraft. I'm more, when I worked with machineries, it was usually like Tekkit, you know, like back in like 2014, 15 when that was popular. So this is all new to me. I think I might get rid of that. I can have it always on, so. And I could always have that on so it doesn't need a redstone source. Which is going to be good in the long run. I'm going to need another block. What if I can just get a sign? That could work as well. Instead of getting a block, I'll just have a sign. Nah, it wouldn't be worth it to use this. A lot more wood than we have stone. Oh yeah, I'm going to go stick with stone on this behalf. So we're working on maybe upgrading this. I don't know how exactly this is going to work out, but we'll figure this out together. But how do I abstract the items using the transporter pipes? That's my question that I have. Just give me 1 second. Let me figure this stuff out here. Okay, I have an idea. I'm just hoping it would filter out the seeds, or it would be something of a similar issue. But what I need to do is I need to grab this configurator. Wow, okay. There we go. I think oh my goodness, that's actually really cool. So that's gonna... Oh, I don't want it to do that, though. That's not exactly what I wanted to do. We'll have to figure out how to... Okay, so this is working out a lot nicer than I expected. Now that I think about it, does the... Does this officially become obsolete now? So, wait a minute. Let me, get rid of this. Let me see how this is going to work. Can I now then officially just have it like... We're gonna have to wait for it to, see if this is gonna pull the items out now. At this point, we're doing alright. Yeah, my goodness, this is going, That's awesome. Seems like we got something to figure out. Here, so only thing is now we need to... What I really wanted to do is I really wanted to, instead of pulling out the wheat, which it's going to do whenever this is done, I believe. I don't want it to do that. Because then what's the point of having an automatic crafter then? So let me clean this up a little bit so it looks a little bit more, well, cleaner. Here we go. This looks a lot more cleaner than anything right now. I mean, it looks definitely a lot nicer. I'm happy that I utilized this over that, but the only problem that I now have is, I don't have any more, Oh, shoot, yeah, I gotta get the abstract, from... No, I want it to be facing it. There we go. Is there any way we can store bioethanol? Maybe? Because this is a lot. But I really... Okay, I'm a little bit bummed out here. Doesn't work as much as I was hoped for. But it's still... This looks a lot cleaner than it did prior. I wanted to filter the seeds out away from the crafter and to just directly into here. So I'm gonna go figure, I think there might be, filter, no. So in order to, filter out items, we are gonna need a logistical sorter. Which, not too expensive. We just need, iron, one piece of redstone, and I hope this works. I just hope it does, because I want it to. This is gonna be cool if it does. So we need 8 iron, 1 piece of redstone, cobblestone, which I already have in my inventory, not necessary to grab it, 3 pieces of wood, or I got 5, and I need 1 of those, which I have 1 right here. So, Does this not work? That? Or do I need to particularly use, No, that works. Bingo. It just was not filtering. So how do I utilize this then? Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I'm... Default color, none. Or single item, sends a single item instead of a whole stack. Yeah, I need that to be on. Force, round robin, cycles between all connected inventories when sending items. Eject unfiltered. Automatically to connected inventories using the default configuration. I stopped doing that. I need to figure out how this works. Because the items that we get are wheat, seeds, and verdant slings. So we're just going to check this out here. New filter. Item stack, tag. Ah, new filter. Not gonna work. Okay. Fuzz mode has no effect on current item. Fuzzy mode. Then how do you add an item to a filter? Okay. Just give me need to do a little bit of research on this. I'll tell you what how it works. Okay, so I got a basic understanding of this. What I gotta do is I'm gonna get rid of this. Because this is gonna... It looks very complicating and it looks intimidating a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. The big... Right here, this should be facing downwards. This is like that pumps it out. And now I gotta make the system work where I would have multiple routes here. Now we're gonna need the pipes again. Where did I put them at? Over right here. And we're gonna have to configure this out into... We'll just say it's gonna be color coded. Red is gonna be there. We have blue here. I need to configure this into a different color now. It looks really intimidating, but it's actually not. It's just, it's the way it's laid out, though. It's kind of complicating. Have it like that, so it would be setting up for each pipe, each item goes to its own unique spot, which is cool. Gonna bother me. But what we're gonna do is have the default for single item. So what we're gonna need to do, the default color is gonna be set to red, because the red, it's gonna automatically just look for the red in here, and the pipe, it will pipe it into there. And what I wanted to do, an example on how I would want anything from Roots Classic, new filter, Roots Classic. Now that's gonna be green. I'm gonna set it to green, that's right. Right here, save there. So automatically, anything from this mod, Roots Classic, would go into here. That should work like that. Even though it is a very not common item. Yeah. I just need to figure out what the tag ID for seeds would be and wheat. Because what I would want for it to do new filter, item stack. Okay, so there we go. No, there we put wheat in there. We're gonna have this color to red. So it should automatically and then we add another filter. Seeds. And we're gonna make this blue. I believe that's blue, right? Oh. Here's. Yeah, we're gonna set it to blue. And we're gonna have that automatically go for there. We're gonna need another extractor here. So that could focus on I guess what I'm gonna have to do here is set this all be to one color. This looks very messy, but it's more efficient than what we had before. I wanted to avoid. Okay, we're gonna need another extractor. Let me get that crafted real quickly. There we go. We made another extractor here. And the only filter that I want this to be at pulling it out would be new filter, item lock, hay bale. And that's it. Well, what I was saying, what's going to be is that only hay bales would go into here from now on. No longer, hopefully, extracting any more wheat itself. So we can get 16 biomasses instead of 1 from each wheat, which it takes 9 wheat to make a hay bale. So essentially, I'm doubling, or definitely making more than I could. So yeah, more biomass than I could with just using wheat alone. Item stack. Where's blue? Now that's gonna just go through here. just sorted it, entered here. That's exactly what I wanted. Now that's really cool. It's gonna completely ignore everything that we had there. It's, yeah, and the only problem that I have now is well, I don't have any more storage for for seeds anymore. That's the only problem that I have at this point. But this is a good problem to have. And this gets this all pretty much settled. And I mean, I love what I've done here so far. It's a lot better than how it used to be. I just figured it would be interesting to work on getting a better crafting system and learning how filtration system works. So it's simply by using a logistical sorter, I'm capable of organizing all the items on where the directory do I want it to go. So this should be a million times more efficient than... Well, now, in the next episode, I'm hoping to continue on with upgrading this by adding maybe a tank where I can either get a battery to store all the energy, or get a hydro pressured tank that can store the bioethanol that we generate. But anyhow, this is so far really cool. I love it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I thought it was a little bit more informative than maybe my previous episodes were, because I am also learning, and this is exactly something that I never knew about, and I wish I did. But still, really cool. But now I'm going to go clean up a little bit. And continue on making more videos. Because I feel like continuing doing this. And that's going to be literally coming right after this. See, it's went right into there. Organize it all. Sweet. I love it. This is something that piques my autism a little bit. Anyways, have a good night. I'll see you the next day.